Hi, I'm John and welcome to the Jigsaw Puzzler. Today's puzzle is from this series, Mindbogglers by Hinkler. The Mindbogglers series is both huge and very popular. There are dozens and dozens of images around in this particular series. These puzzles are at the affordable end of the puzzle spectrum if you're buying puzzles new. We have often gotten them, $3 for $10 kind of thing at bookshops and things not far from where we live. So they're very, very common, and there are lots of them around. I don't know how many there are that they produced altogether. There just seem to be an endless number of images that they have produced. Often they are 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles like this one, but there are occasionally 1,500-piece jigsaw puzzles in their range as well. I have a number of Hinkler puzzles, and my puzzle partner has probably 15 or 20 of them, and we have enjoyed doing them immensely. There are some that are very, very challenging. There are a couple that we have done which we will never do again. There is one in the series, some woods, a snowscape, that we have attempted and not completed, and we are not going to finish it. But on the whole, the Hinkler Mindbogglers puzzles are quite enjoyable to do. They do have a variety of challenge levels. We have one which is a cityscape of the city of Chicago by night, and we have done that 6, 7, 8 times. There we have a Mindboggler puzzle of the Amalfi Coast, of a small village on the Amalfi Coast, and we've done that 4 or 5 times. So some of them are very pleasurable to do and not terribly difficult. Others are more challenging. This particular one is called Marble Temple, Thailand. I have Googled it to find out what the temple's name actually is, and I think we'll stick with Marble Temple because it has a long Thai name, and as my Thai language skills are 0, I'm not going to murder it here. As you can see, it's an image looking through an opening, an arch of some sort, at this magnificent temple in reds and golds with marble, a floor, and the blue and white clouded sky behind. Nicely framed. Hinkler puzzles, or the Mindboggler series, are the kinds of images that people traditionally think of when they think jigsaw puzzles. Monument and sky. This one here, a cityscape with sky and water. A historic town. This one here is a cityscape at the city of Florence. Again, we've got a cityscape, we've got sky, we've got trees and garden in the front. This one is of Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands. Totally landscape, this one. Flowers, trees. And this one is of a lake in Alberta, Canada, which is a reflection. So a landscape with sky and water, and the landscape is reflected in the water. All terribly traditional jigsaw puzzle type images. Historic buildings, cityscapes with sky and water, or landscapes involving sky and water, and rather grand looking landscapes. So this is no different. This is a monument, monumental, probably a historic building, quite beautiful obviously, nicely framed by this arch, giving added texture and depth to the picture, and then the bank of sky there as well. Alright, this puzzle was bought secondhand. It was given to me as a gift, and of course with a secondhand puzzle you never know if it's going to be complete, and this one is, and I'm pleased about that. It is a fairly loose fit puzzle, but it does sort of hold together. You can, if you're careful, pick it up, but that won't hold its own weight, I don't think, if I were to pick that up completely into the air. But it holds together enough to put sections together to pick them up and move them around. And if you watch the time lapse, you'll see that I did that with a couple of sections. The windows here, for example, I did them together and picked one up and moved it to the other side. So it's reasonably good quality. It's slightly thinner cardboard than some of the other ones that I've reviewed. Some of the Heyer puzzles, for example, or the Ravensburger. but still reasonably good quality. It's an excellent quality image. It's not out of focus. It's not dull colours that all sort of blend into one another. Of course, being focusing on the temple in the middle here, some of the areas around the edge are out of focus, but that's only to be expected. If you took the photo yourself, your photo would turn out that way too. So very good quality, sharp image, particularly the temple, very sharp image on the detail, and that's really helpful for putting it together. It's not overly brown like a lot of older puzzles are. I don't know how old it is actually. I don't think it's particularly old. 2020, so yeah, 5 years old. But it doesn't have that sort of brown monotone kind of overtone that a lot of very old puzzles that are traditional puzzle images might have. Nice popping colours. So how did I do this puzzle? Well, I poured the pieces into the sorting trays and did a full flip in the trays and pulled out all the edge pieces, as I usually do. So I lined up all the edge pieces, then I put the edge together. I was missing 2 at the start. Obviously didn't know if they were actually missing or if I had just overlooked them. Turns out I'd overlooked them. Did the edge so that I knew the dimensions of the puzzle. It is not a traditional 40 by 25 1,000 piece puzzle. It's a 36 by 28. So I suspect that makes it slightly over the 1,000 pieces, but that doesn't really matter. I had the dimensions, so it's a little more square than rectangular. It has multiple piece shapes. They're not all the same. So there are the full range of piece shapes. It is ribbon cut, and it interlocks quite nicely, and the pieces do hold together well. After the edge, I thought that it dawned on me that this puzzle is actually a number of puzzles in one. So I pulled out all the sky pieces. What I really wanted to do was to reduce the number of pieces in the sorting trays. So I thought I'd pull out all the sky pieces and create the edge around here and around the top of the temple. So I sorted all the sky pieces into plain sky and sky plus something else. So sky plus this arch, or sky plus part of the temple. So I strung all of those together. I didn't have it connected to the edges at all. It was just this free floating frame in the middle. And then I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do the sky. So quite unlike my normal procedure, I went ahead and did the sky. Did it first. And so I had this odd shaped piece just floating around in the middle of the puzzle. These 2 column capitals here on the side are a little out of focus, and they're quite close to the camera, so the details are very enlarged. So some of those pieces, it became obvious sorting through the trays that I just pulled some of them out and managed to connect it to the edge of the puzzle. So that was the first part, really, the sky. Puzzle number 1. Puzzle number 2 was this band of red and gold flowers or floral patterns that goes around the sky. They were very easy to identify and pull out. They were not so easy to put together. There's a patch on the side here and a patch on the side over here, on this side, which are much duller colours, where the bright section is in the middle. So you could work a few colour matching things to put some of that together, and you'll see that I did. There's also a thick red stripe down the middle which defines the centre. Managed to find that as well. And then I did a lot of puzzle shape sorting in this puzzle. I did it for the sky, I did it for this, to put the pieces in place. Shape sorting, it was the way to go with this. Otherwise it would be terribly, terribly difficult matching all those shapes up. So I had the sky and I had this. Then I proceeded to pull out a few things at once. All of this brown section here around the top, very distinctive in the sorting tray, so I thought I'll just pull those out and get them out of the box. Then I thought I'd pull the centre roof section, is highly ornate gold, very distinctive, and the pattern's not found anywhere else on the puzzle. So I thought I'd pull that out. Then I started to see bits of this door, or it's not a door, this shrine to Buddha. So I pulled those out, and I pulled all of the paving at this ground level out and started to make these stairs. They were quite easy to identify. So I wasn't really sure what I should do next, but I just kind of fell into doing this section of the roof and some parts down through the middle here. I worked on creating the line between the paving and the temple building itself so that I had a distinct section. I knew where all the paving sections went. And then I thought I'll do the paving. I'd bite the bullet and do it. It looked like it was going to be difficult and boring, but actually when you look at it, all of the tiles in the paving, or the marble slabs in the paving, go horizontally, which meant that I could turn all the pieces so that all the paving went horizontally. Now, obviously, the pieces might have gone the other way up when I got them into the puzzle, but that didn't matter. I could tell that proved to be much easier to do than I expected, just by having all the pieces lined up with the paving going horizontally. I could put that together, and you'll see on the time lapse that actually didn't take me very long at all, whereas the sky did take me quite some time, and this red and gold section took me quite some time. This took quite a few hours to do. Just, lots and lots of shape sorting with this. Then I moved on to the main element of the temple itself. Most people, I suspect, would start with the temple first, and ordinarily I would have done that, but I went with the sky instead and found that to be an interesting way to do it. I wasn't then left at the end of the puzzle slugging away piece by piece at the sky. I was actually moving quite quickly, putting the temple together. All right, so I had this outline here, some of the roof. I had the paved area here. Then I did the roof. I pulled out as many of the roof pieces as I could to put those together because the distinctive red and gold colour. Put the windows together, and there are two monumental lions at the front of the temple here. I put those together, and of course this building then just started to come together. Various pieces added on to the edges of the paving, and because the photograph is taken with a certain angle of perspective, all of the vertical lines in the building actually slope in the image. It's an optical illusion, obviously, inwards towards the vanishing point. So if I found an upright piece, I could tell if it went on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, depending upon which way it's sloped. There are little dark patches here, but honestly they are very small, half a dozen pieces or a dozen pieces at the most, and there are a little section in here that was not difficult at all. It was the last bit that I did somewhere down here. Those bits weren't hard. And I did, of course, did the whole of the brown section at the top too. So I found this puzzle to be reasonably challenging. I had to do a lot of shape sorting. I did the sky as ones. I treated them as separate puzzles. The sky, this band of red and gold colour, the brown section, the paving, the roof, and then the rest of the temple. I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate puzzles. If I treated them like that, it sort of broke it down to making it a lot more achievable. So, as I say, it was a reasonably challenging puzzle to do. It did take me longer than I would normally take to do a 1,000-piece puzzle, but nonetheless, it's a stunning image and a really interesting puzzle to do. Don't often do many that are quite like this, and I'm pleased that I've done it. I'm pleased that I got given it, and I'm pleased that all the pieces were present. So, on with the time lapse. If you could click like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment below, I'd be more than happy to hear your thoughts on these kinds of traditional puzzle images, or this particular one if you want to comment on this one. Anyway, click like and subscribe, and let's have a look at the time lapse. And thank you for watching.